heart in the gathering. The mind of the great Indian immortal moves seamlessly between east and west. It's human nature to be quick or slow, but in the way there are no northern or southern ancestors. The mysterious source of the bright is clear and unstained. Branches of light stream from that dark. Trying to control things is only delusion, but hanging on to the absolute isn't enlightenment either. We and everything we perceive are interwoven and not interwoven, and this interweaving continues on and on, while each thing stands in its own place. In the world of form, we differentiate substances and images. In the world of sound, we distinguish music from noise. In the embrace of the dark, good words and bad words are the same. But in the bright, we divide clear speech from confusion. The four elements return to their natures like a child to the mother. Fire is hot, the winds blow, water is wet, the earth solid. The eye sees form, the ear hears voices. The nose smells fragrance. The tongue tastes salt and sour. Everything, depending on its roots, spreads out its leaves. Both roots and branches must return to their origin, as do respectful and insulting words. The darkness is inside the bright, but don't look only with the eyes of the dark. The brightness is inside the dark, but don't look only through the eyes of the bright. Bright and dark are a pair, like front foot and back foot walking. Each thing by nature has worth, but we notice it is shaped by its circumstances. Things fit together like boxes and lids, while the absolute is like arrows meeting in midair. When you let these words in, you encounter the ancestors. Don't limit yourself to your own small story. If you don't see the way with your own eyes, you won't know the road even as you're walking on it. Walking the way, we're never near or far from it. Deluded, we are cut off from it by mountains and rivers. You who seek the mystery in daylight or in the shadows of night, don't throw away your time. So, it's great. This is our winter retreat. Winter's a great time to be in retreat. The universe sometimes sympathizes by keeping us inside and down and deep and watery. And it's the weather, people think it's going to do that this week, so we shall see. So it's a time to go inwards. And this, we've chosen as the theme of the retreat this great early koan text. It was written a bit before the time of the great koan masters that we're familiar with, a generation or two before. And it was just when people were starting to, oh wow, this thing's happening in China. It was becoming exciting. And this was one of the, taking part in the gathering was one of the poems that was written out of that moment of excitement. And you can feel that there's a real feeling for the value of the dark and the unknown in this poem. And sometimes we say everything's resting in the light. Here he said he called that dark. Everything's resting in the dark, and what he called light was where you can see the differences between people, you know, this person, that person. but the vastness everything comes from, he called the dark. And so it's a nice thing about this time of year, the branches of light stream from the dark. And you can feel them starting to stream too. There are moments of sunlight, and the people at Santa Sabina here found us their first quince blossoms on the altar. They're just growing along the hedge there. And you can feel, the branches of light are starting to appear. And Shito was the guy who wrote this poem was he was a mysterious person and considered to have very deep practice, but not always be easily comprehensible to others. And his teacher, who was a student of this great sixth ancestor, Shito's teacher said, in my assembly, in my gathering, I have many horned animals, but only one unicorn. And he was the unicorn. So, we have an affinity with one-horned creatures in PZI, and so I think of him as being part of us. We have a unicorn in our ancestry, and the feeling, and you can tell also there's the feeling of we have to rely not on what is known, but what is emerging, or not even emerging, what is not yet known. Lao Tzu said, we're always seeking to improve being, but it's non-being that everything comes from. So it's out of the vastness come the gifts of life. And in Zen, and in a retreat, that's what we're doing. We're, in a way, when we meditate, there are all these things going on in the mind normally that Shito calls our small story. And there's nothing wrong with that, and it's part of the universe, just the way anything is, deer and skunks and, crows and finches and so on, and us. But there's a bigger possibility going that holds us. And so when that small story starts to fall away, something bigger happens. And we might say the guards in the mind fall asleep. That's what the darkness is. If we've always got these hard-working bodyguards making sure we only think the acceptable things that we always think, and who quickly stamp out anything strange or creative. And so meditation, it doesn't really fight with the guards, they just fall asleep, they get bored. Nothing seems to be happening here, I can take a rest, And then the magic of the universe appears in us. We realize we are it. And actually, everybody in this room is it. So there's nobody does not have a piece of this great mystery, and there's also nobody who isn't this great mystery. And in the opening, often you'll notice in Zen, instead of explaining something, we just step into it. Like what is happening? These people are in the middle of the room with bells. What does that mean? And so in Zen you get a lot of opportunity to let the bodyguards rest. The bodyguards are always saying, hang on, I wasn't warned that this would happen. Or this can't be it, And we've had a lot in our year. This year, actually, in the world, we've had a lot of, this can't be it, this wasn't in the script. And in the vastness, you can be at peace. And your own contribution is to allow other people, every time you allow the vastness to enter your own heart, and in fact, your own heart to be the vastness, then other people are mysteriously encouraged, and it's easier for them too. So that's what we're doing in Sesshin. when our bodyguards go to sleep, the other bodyguards go to sleep as well. So, kind of cool. And we'll see that in a mysterious way we're connected, and the warmth of that and the darkness of that, there's a loving quality in it, just to say. But you can see that for yourself. You'll start experiencing, oh, if I don't have my bodyguards, I don't have a lot of resistance to life. And it's just there, it's just life, I'm in it. I'm not disapproving of it, I'm not disapproving of you, I'm not disapproving even of my bodyguards if they wake up, Say, hi, bodyguard. And there's a sort of peace that we're in the midst of all the time. So that's there. And then the final thing I think I want to say tonight is we started with tea, which is it has a ceremonial feel in Zen. It's something we can just do together and just be simple together. And there's no other purpose than being together, drinking tea. And that's what life is, Someone asked Shito, they said, how can I become free? And Shito said, who put you in prison? And then his teacher said to him something about, he said, what are you doing? He said, I'm not doing anything. His teacher said, well, isn't that just sitting around in idleness? And he said, sitting around in idleness would be doing something. And so his teacher said, oh, okay, fair enough. So we're not even not doing something. There's something, we're freer than that, And so that's what sitting around having tea together is. There's a warmth, and there's just the drinking tea together, and it's the spirit of meditation itself. There's a koan that's got a lot of stuff about people trying to work out reality and like maybe competing a bit with each other and saying, I think I'm more hip about it than you, and stuff like that. And they're arguing about it. And they say, it's this, no, it's this, no, it's this. And then somebody asked the most senior person there, well, what is the true reality? And the teacher says, let's have tea. So again, there's that, you just step into it. Let's have tea. So we've done that. So let's have meditation. And the kindness and sweetness is given by the universe, and that we, at any moment, it is for you, it's enough, you're enough, here we are. Thank you.